What's up, everyone? It's Caddy with Money Vesting. So I really hope the audio is good. I am in the middle of my travels, so we're gonna have to make do with the webcam quality and of course the audio quality. I do apologize if there is any background noise, but I just landed here in Malaysia. I'm actually at the airport, and I looked at the hotel, and the distance is like 2 hours away. So it's gonna take me a long time to get there. And by the time I get there, try to set everything up and record this update, it'll be way too long. So I just figured, let me take a break at the airport, record this video for you guys, upload it, and then make my way to the hotel, which again is going to be about 2 hours away. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like. Markets here absolutely crushing it on the day, with the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow rallying on the back of what seems to be a little bit more of a broadening out session, where we are seeing other sectors participate. It's not really dependent on the handful of companies that we have talked about in the past. By the way, I'm also very exhausted because, well, if you know me and my luck, I'm always paired up with a crying baby on the plane, literally right next to me every single time. I don't know how it happens, but it happens every time. But anyway, so this right here is going to be the update. Dow Jones pushing up over 115 points. We got the S&P up over almost 1%, and the NASDAQ killing it, up over 1.5% here, pushing past 12,600. So S&P is very close to 4,200. We'll go over the bear camp, and we're kind of now tagging along to that resistance here, and the NASDAQ is in full swing. We've got another 600 points to potentially go up until 13,200. That's going to be that next resistance to watch for the NASDAQ. So over 2,000 stocks pushing higher between 0 to 2%, another 900 up 2 to 5%. So it was, again, more advancers versus decliners on the day. So S&P jumps nearly 1% Thursday for highest close since August, as the traders hope for debt ceiling resolution. So again, this is all on the back of some more resolution coming in from the debt ceiling front. And McCarthy also mentioned, and I quote, "I see the path that we can come to an agreement, and I think we have a structure now, and everybody's working hard." And I mean, we're working 2 or 3 times a day, then going back and getting more numbers. So I think the debt ceiling is personally a lot of noise, but I think investors and even traders are having a hard time ignoring it. Kilberg pretty much mentioned, and I have optimism on the market, but also optimism that we're going to find a way to move forward, and the US government's never truly going to walk away from their default. So that again is a very significant risk to the overall economy, not just the US, but of course world economy. So we already knew that the debt ceiling was going to get resolved. It was either going to get suspended or raised altogether. But it was just the path of getting there was very volatile, and of course was going to carry a lot of volatility and of course uncertainty around it. So as we are kind of approaching that X state, which Janet Yellen's also mentioned, June 1st, I think there's going to be some resolution in place. But you are also seeing the yields move up on this news, right? Because there is that level of risk still there, which is exactly one of the reasons why I will be looking into TMF eventually when the 10-year yields kind of taps out, in my opinion, and the 20-year, then I will be looking at TMF as well. By the way, we do also had a trade idea, or I pretty much had an investment on Twilio as well. Started it back at $48. It was up almost 2% today. So this is turning out to be a very nice swing trade. Will potentially be more like an investment as well. I'll see how it trades over the next few weeks. But really, Twilio, as I mentioned in my other video, very strong balance sheet, and more cash than debt, and it's trading very close to its net liquidation value, which is something that we have talked about on the channel. And if it continues to do that, I will continue to accumulate more shares. So again, if you want to get access to all the alerts, binds alerts, options alerts, trade ideas, everything's going to be included, as well as the private live streams. The link's going to be down below. There is a 16% discount until the end of this month. So this is the state of the market. Nvidia absolutely killing it. Like, what is going on? AMD up another 4%. That is understandable, but Nvidia here, man, past $315, $317, up almost 5%. Microsoft pushing higher, Apple pushing higher, Oracle, we had Adobe pushing higher, and of course Amazon and Tesla, Google and Meta, Netflix up 9%. I gotta read up on what was going on over there. But we did have financials, we did have a little bit of energy, materials, consumer defenses. So Walmart was up, Costco was pushing higher. So it was a little bit more of a broadening out, but at the same time, it was very much concentrated as well on technology and semis, software, comm services, cyclical. So if you kind of put that in the same bucket of big tech, yes, that's what really drove the markets, the NASDAQ more specifically. But we did have other sectors also following, not all of them, but some of them, right? So we did have about kind of like a break-even market type day where technology, comm services, cyclicals, which are really just technology, right? So that's big tech for you. And then we did have industrials, financials, energy kind of follow, and then other sectors really did pull back. But the weighting of these, of course, big tech giants kind of influenced the markets to the upside. That's why the Dow was up a lot less compared to the NASDAQ or the S&P 500. So in the last 1 week, again, you can see that we are kind of broadening out a little bit. That's exactly what we need. And the fact that you are going to see this broadening out is going to lead to more powerful rallies, right? It's not going to be that inactivity, no action, no volatility, no volume type days where you're just like slowly and steadily kind of drifting higher. You can kind of see the last 2 days how powerful the markets have been. That's all because of the broadening out of this rally, right? If more sectors, more stocks participate, there's going to be more momentum created by the markets, right? Just want to make sure that I am recording and everything is good. Perfect, awesome. So if you go over to the 1 month chart here, again, comm services and technology is still up, but other sectors, as they start to move up over the last 1 month, that picture will also change. And of course, we will see more participation. Feeder cattle, palladium, orange juice, all green. We do have sugar and oat prices falling. Bitcoin back under 27,000, Ether just at 1,800 at the moment. So going over to crude oil first, I'm gonna keep this nice and short because I'm not gonna trust the Wi-Fi here at the airport, so I don't want to have them upload like a 25-30 minute video, which is gonna take me like, let's say, an hour to kind of stay here at the airport. So I'll keep it brief, I'll keep it concise. Crude oil prices here is trading at a little bit over $72 per barrel, so but mostly flat, and that resistance at $72 to $73 per barrel. And Bitcoin obviously just consolidating sideways as well at that support. We've got at 27,000. That's where we are. And Ether is also just trading sideways at 1,800 at the moment. So you're seeing a lot of consolidation for both BTC and Ether as well. Support's going to be at 1740. Now QQQs are definitely getting up to a very, very interesting breakout here. Just absolutely crushing it. NASDAQ 100 more specifically up over 1.86% and breaking past its level from back in August. Just absolutely insane move to the upside. So two back-to-back very strong days, and the next higher high is going to be over here. This is going to be the level at closer to 345. We don't quite have a horizontal resistance at that level, but we do have a higher high kind of forming at that level. So this right here is going to be that higher high and higher low pattern inside this this rising wedge, so to speak. So we are kind of once again pushing higher. We're getting a huge breakout on heavy volume. So 64 million shares traded versus 45 million. So markets are really pulling through here, and the bulls are absolutely rallying this market as hard as they can. And the next target and that resistance is going to be at 345. For NASDAQ specifically, IXIC, that's going to be a level sitting roughly at 13,200. So another 600 points, like I said earlier in the video, that's going to be another 4% potential upside. That's going to bring us back to that August high. But of course, NASDAQ 100, since it's more concentrated and more tech heavy, it's already broken past its August high from just a few months ago. So that right there is going to be that resistance level to watch from back in August 15th, 2022. So we've got about 4 to 5% upside left here for NASDAQ. Going over to the S&P, so resistance at roughly at 4,200. So that's a bear cam that we have talked about in the channel in the past, and right now we're starting to see a bit of a breakout because of this broadening out of this rally, and of course other sectors also participating with other stocks and other companies also making a move to the upside. So we're getting a very nice break to the upside. We'll go ahead and turn this level back into a support once we get a successful break to the upside even further, more continuation, more momentum to the upside. And resistance, like I said, is going to be 43.30. That's going to be a potential move of another 3 to 4% for both the S&P and the NASDAQ before they approach their next level of resistance. So I'm going to club these stocks together, starting with Apple here. Again, 177 is going to be that level to watch. This is coming in from back in August of 2022. So we're going back up to that level. Very strong move, and valuation, I can't speak how crazy the valuation is now starting to get, right? In my yesterday's video, we talked about how collectively these companies have pulled in over $2 trillion, and they've moved up quite a bit. I mean, Apple being the biggest company in the US, and of course also pulling in close to $650 billion in market cap since the beginning of this year. So 177 is going to be that resistance to watch. Extremely overbought, not to mention the negative divergence. So those are some things to consider from a risk-reward standpoint. But of course, the momentum is in the favor of the bulls right now, and we are continuing on this move to the upside. Amazon, next resistance is going to be at 129, a very strong move, 2.2% today, and starting to break past this level from back in February as well. So very, very nice momentum. Volume's pretty high, 73, 74 million shares traded, and 129, 130 is going to be that next target to watch. Keep a close eye on the RSI, of course. We are a little bit on the overbought side here at the moment for both the RSI and the MACD. Talking about Tesla, so 1.7%, starting to break past 175. We'll go ahead and turn this level into a support now for Tesla. A lot of these resistance levels will get turned into support levels because of the fact that we're starting to see a huge breakout to the upside. So very, very nice move. And next resistance and target is going to be closer to $199, $200. And if it does end up getting up there, I will be looking at selling covered calls on Tesla once again, because that's going to serve as a nice hedge for potential downside. So that's going to be the level, $199, close to $200, and we are seeing a little bit of move back to the upside. By the way, I also want to mention that I did dollar cost average a little bit on VUG yesterday because of that experiment that we are doing. So I actually dollar cost averaged yesterday and last week as well, and I'm going to continue to keep buying a little bit more of this. And very nice move to the upside. It's very much concentrated on growth, Vanguard Growth ETF, very low expense ratio, something that you can also consider if you want to. Of course, this is just for the experiment's sake for myself. I started at the worst possible time, and that was the idea, kind of buying, literally starting at the market top and dollar cost averaging all the way down to see if it actually turns profitable. And look, guess what? We're almost break even on this, the fact that we have been able to dollar cost average and lower cost basis over time. So it was just an experiment to kind of figure out what that DCA looks like over longer time frames, even if you start at the worst possible time. That was the whole idea behind that experiment in the first place. But anyway, let's just go back over to Tesla. $200 is going to be that resistance. Very nice break to the upside. And again, I'm going to start selling some covered calls here very, very soon for this company. So NVIDIA, absolutely insane move to the upside. Lots of volume. We are over 74 million shares, so twice as much as the average Sunday volume. And next target resistance at $347 to $350. So this right here is going to be that resistance to watch for NVIDIA. And support level is going to stay put roughly at around $275 to $290 per share for this company, of course. And we are approaching earnings. Negative divergence no longer there, but the RSI obviously very overbought, and so is the MACD. And Advanced Micro Devices also insane move, up over 4%, back over $107, and we're now approaching that resistance at $109 per share. So this right here is going to be the level to watch from back in June. And then we've also got a higher high for Advanced Micro Devices to also pay attention to eventually. Next up, we got PayPal. PayPal here underperforming despite a very strong day for the markets. That just goes to show that PayPal is still struggling from a price action standpoint. There's not a lot of capitulation or selling exhaustion just yet, and still oversold very much on the RSI, MACD, trying to find a base for that support here for PayPal at the moment. So we'll continue to monitor this. Resistance is going to be at $66, $67. Square, very nice move, up over 3%. And the next resistance is going to be at this lower high at $63, $64 per share. So that right there is going to be that level to watch. And right now we're seeing a very nice reversal back up for this company. Talking about Meta Platforms, and Meta here pushing up over 1.8%. So new 52-week high at $247. Congratulations to all the bulls on Meta. It is now up a whopping 101% on the year. So congratulations to anybody who's still holding. Of course, I am, and I do have a couple of covered calls I think sold at 270 strikes, or might have been 260. I have to go back and double check. But those are going to be, if I let go of those shares at those prices, I am happy. This is going to be some decent profits. And this right here is going to be the gap that it needs to potentially fill in eventually between 248 and to as much as 289. So those right there are going to be some levels to watch for Meta. Talking about Netflix, and Netflix here, man, absolutely massive move. What happened here? Like, I want to take a look. So let's see. I just want to quickly go over what exactly happened. So 8% after reported its new ad-supported subscription plan had 5 million monthly active users. Wow. So this right here is a huge revenue boost for the company, right? We talked about this last year. And, I think I mentioned that the ad revenue business is going to be literally very, very high margin business because they don't have to do anything, right? All they have to do is launch a new tier and create these ad templates where advertisers can bid for these ad templates and start presenting ads on their content. It's very simple. It is a very high margin business, and it's going to drive more revenue, more earnings, more profitability for the company. So now resistance all the way up to $374, $375. So this right here, we're literally at that resistance right now, and support level is going to stay put at 348. So we're now starting to break past this level, although the fair value is still going to be a lot lower than where it's trading at the moment. Google on the day up a little bit over 1.6%, so continuing on that momentum, literally starting to break past this resistance. Incredibly overbought RSI MACD, so I'm not going to be interested in buying Google at these levels. In fact, on the contrary, I will be looking at selling calls on Google here very, very soon. So we'll be looking at potentially selling calls. We'll send out the alerts either tomorrow or next week. And then finally, we got Microsoft and Shopify. Microsoft also very nice break to the upside, pushing up over 1.44%. Market cap is now over $2.3 trillion, and the next resistance is going to be at $344 per share for Microsoft. So this right here is going to be that next resistance, and we're going to go ahead and turn this level into a new support for Microsoft. And then last but not least, we got Shopify, and Shopify here moving pretty flat, not really moving all that much, back over $60, seeing a little bit of a pullback, but that's going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and a quick update on the markets is absolutely crushing it. And again, if you are a technology stock or technology growth investor, then you're probably crushing it, and that's really what the focus has been on the channel. But we got to keep in mind, valuations are always going to be important. Risk management is always important, regardless of what the momentum or the price action is really telling you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, find it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're just joining us for the first time, link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. As always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.